Welcome to Take It from the Iron Woman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Iron Woman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Iron Woman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take it from the Iron Woman. We have spoken to Ipek before. And tell us about the children's book. What is the title of the book?
The title of the book, it is Little Fauna is Loved, Safe, and Never Alone. The idea about it is children need to feel loved and safe and need to feel that they are not alone. This is a book for children, but I thought the adults will be reading those books to them. In this day and age, unfortunately, so many adults are feeling the same way. Actually, this is like a one stone, two birds kind of thing. I wrote this for children, but also for the adults who are going to be reading the book to them. Because I believe that we are never alone. I say that because we have our inner child, we have our inner being, we have our higher self, and that guides us at all times. I want children to grow up knowing that I'm not alone. That's an effort in that direction.
When you said the inner child, maybe the adults who buy the book, they need to reawaken that inner child. Sometimes as an adult, when we look through the children's book, The Little Prince is an example of, it's not really for children, but it's like, hey, where is the moon? Where's like those innocent questions are actually very deep questions. And as adults, maybe now is the time.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting that you brought up Little Prince, because the other day I was talking to a friend of mine, actually, whom I mentor, and she mentioned that she just read The Little Prince after years and years. When she read it the first time when she was younger, obviously, she said, oh my God, I loved this story and how deep it is. She used the same word, deep, as you.
What was your inspiration to write that book? Obviously not to be alone, but sometimes we have, an inspiration.
It is so interesting. Children are so near and dear to my heart. And I have been writing meditations for children and recording them. But then one morning I woke up, I sat down, and this, like in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I wrote it down from start to the end. It just came through me. I didn't even plan doing it. And then all of a sudden, I sat down and wrote it, and I read it to many people, starting from my husband and other friends, and they all loved it. And then it's turned into a project, and it's in like 3-4 months time, it was a reality. So that's why when someone tells me, how am I gonna create this? How am I gonna make it happen? I made happen a book which was not even in my mind 3 months ago. You can do anything. Anybody can do anything.
What I think, sometimes maybe it was brewing in your head or your inner child, and then it was time to come out.
And the inner child topic is very interesting. And I work with some clients, and we implement Ho'oponopono. And Ho'oponopono is all about reviving the inner child, bringing back the childlike joy. And
tell us more about that. Different cultures or different, how can we say, myths or cultural folklore or
Mm-hmm.
whatever we can
Yes.
bring into the mix? Because I sometimes think in coaching, it's so, maybe that's the wrong word, scripted, like step 1, 2, 3, 4. But I think coaching should be more fluid and more playful, in my opinion. Maybe not everybody is agreeing with me.
I agree with you because everybody is different. Everybody's needs are different. Some people might have some kind of trauma in their past and they need to deal and work on it. Whereas some people had perfect childhood, but right now they are dealing with some change in their lives or something. Every person's needs are different, and Ho'oponopono is a tool that I use a lot especially with the ones who had difficulties with their parents from their childhood. And it works like a charm every time. It is like this. We get together, we talk about what's going on and what has been holding them back. And when the parents or lack of parenting, for that matter, surfaces in our conversations, then I try to bring Ho'oponopono into the equation. It is a way of, like, through meditation, through talking about what happened, being open and honest and sharing everything without any judgment. And then doing the meditations, connecting with the inner child. And through those meditations, doing it regularly and talking about all this, just cleansing all that data, all that memories that are coming from their childhood. But not only that, from generations that were before them, because all the data and memories pass from generation to generation through DNA. So what we are dealing with in our personal lives is not only our own memories. Those are also the memories of our ancestors that was passed to us through our DNA. Ho'oponopono helps to cleanse that data and memories so that our creativity, our inspiration, our joy comes back.
We can invite the joy and say goodbye to those old memories that are not serving us anymore.
Yes, and making room for new creativity, new ideas, inspiration. It is invigorating.
Obviously, you and I are coaches, so we're always giving, helping others. How do you rejuvenate to be always at your best? And you look radiant with a red sweater and a nice smile for the listeners. How do you rejuvenate?
Well, obviously I meditate, but that's not only my only fill my own cup thing. But coaching, and speaking about coaching, and right before this, I was in a coaching call, and every time I have a coaching call, I get out of it with so much energy, with so much love. Meditation sessions that I do live has exact same effect on me. When you really love what you do, when you are in a flow during your practice, it is impossible not to get filled with energy and joy and happiness. I try to go to each and every client calls, like coaching calls, leaving myself outside, meditating and cleansing myself, centering myself so that I can be 100% present for my client. Every client is the center of the universe for me for that hour that we spend together. When I do that, I think the energy that I feel becomes contagious and they feel the same way. It's an amazing two-way street. When I help them and they get their insights and they leave the calls with quite a few things that they can do to make anything they need to make better, I feel the same excitement. What I do, because it's my Ikigai, what I do is making me who I am, how happy and let's say.
I love that. I was just writing a blog about light and passion and making the time. And I think a lot of people, we're in that wheel of life and we forget what our passions are. And that's why we need you to unleash those potentials that we have.
I really like to demonstrate my energy to my clients because I want as many people as possible to understand that if I could do this, anybody can do it too. If I am happy this much right now, anybody can be the same. So I just want to demonstrate with who I am and who I became in a few years' time. Then it encourages them to take the step and to do what they really want to accomplish, like an art, like anything that they want to create. Mm-hmm. Because we are the creators. We can create anything. That's the thing that everybody needs to understand. If I can create one thing, someone can create something even better. I'm trying to get together with as many people as possible and make them understand that they have the power to create anything they want.
And sometimes what I see is people are afraid. Maybe they're afraid of themselves. But you just have shown you gave up your secure job. You took the leap and you still look happy and healthy and you give to others. So what is it when people ask, okay, should I quit my job? If you really go deep and find that purpose, find those passion projects that you have, and maybe something can get out of this.
Absolutely. I have some clients, they have a good job and they are happy and thriving, but sometimes they see some problems and they want to give up easily. For example, when I work with them, I turn the tables and try to help them see, okay, these are not going great, but what are the things that are going good that you appreciate about your job, about your colleagues, about your life. And then when they start to see those things, and then they can differentiate what is going good and what is not going great, then they can take action to make the things that are not going great a little better. They start to think. I help them to start thinking about being creative about solving the problems rather than giving up altogether.
Sometimes it's also what I see, saying no to something. So if they have, let's say, a few things that don't go so well, can we eliminate it? Can we outsource it? Why do you have to do it? It's about changing how to look at things. And Wayne Dyer says, like, if you change to look at things differently, things will change. And that was such a pivotal moment for me when you are stuck in your belief. But let's switch a little bit. Opportunities, possibilities. And people call me, you're so optimistic. I'm like, I think we need to be realistic and optimistic rather than to complain all the time.
I so believe in human beings' creativity. When there's a will, there's always a way to solve problems. But the thing is, how willing are you to solve it?
That's what
and
it
how
is.
willing are you to take action? That's all about taking action. Everybody knows what is right and what is wrong. The difference is one person takes action, the other one doesn't. And by the way, Wayne Dyer is one of my all-time favorite people. His quotes and his speeches are amazing.
Thank you so much. This was inspiring. I hope our listeners will take everything away. And you just said it very beautifully. We all know what it takes. There's some people who take that next steps and people are not. You can pick who you are in that case.
Yes, life is about our choices. Our life is the sum of our choices anyway. It's all up to us taking the step or not. All is okay. As long as you are happy where you are, it's good. But if you want to grow, if you want to get to somewhere that you dream, then please take the action.
Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Suzanne.
What a lovely and uplifting conversation. What are you taking away? Take it from the Iron Woman. We have episodes every Monday, every Wednesday. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.